When navigating the home screen on your TV, you'll have basically your menu options right here. So we're on the home section. We can go to a search area where we can type in our search. We also can browse popular tiles here, different recommended categories. You'll also see we have our input option. So there's our 3 HDMI, antenna, composite, and media player. We also have our account information there. You can add different profiles. Moving right along, you'll see our live TV section where we can view TV Guide. Couple of live streaming channels right there for us for free. There's also sponsored content you can pay to sign up for to use. So a lot of things you can look at under the live tab. Then we have our own stuff, the little bookmarks bar there, followed by all of the apps that we already have installed on the TV. So you'll see them right here. Then we can view all the apps with that little icon. So our apps and channels, and we have more down here we can pick and choose from. We can view the app library. Let's go back, and then you'll see we have all of our device settings here with all of these different tiles. Anything you need to control, you should be able to find it right here. They also have a help section as well. So it's a simple menu. I'd say it's a little bit cluttered, but just know that you're going to be using the strip to then select and expand out what you're looking for. Now let's dive into the apps in more detail. First, I want to give you a sample of how quickly they load. So some of this will vary depending on if you've already pulled the app up. Also, it'll depend on your Wi-Fi connection as well. But it's loading right here. This one has a countdown. Looks like we're going to have a little ad playing here. Freebie. And then it's going to load right there. Not too bad. Let's keep moving over. Let's pull up the App Store. So I'd say for a budget TV, fairly responsive. We'll go pull up another one right here. Here's ESPN. This is a paid service too, so it will have a prompt for us to sign in or link our cable account. There we go. If we try to select that, you'll see we have to choose our provider there. But fast and responsive even to exit back out of those apps by pressing the back or the home button. You might be wondering, hey, David, there's a couple apps on this TV that I don't want. I want to uninstall them. Well, here's how you're going to be able to do that. So you're going to press these 3 lines right there on your little menu button, and that's going to bring up your options here. So in this case, we can move this app or we can hide it from our apps. This is a preloaded app from Amazon, so we're not able to get rid of that one. But again, we could hide it if we wanted to. Or again, hey, I want to move it to a different area. You can select the move option, and look at that. We can bring it up or down here, depending on what we want. I actually want to leave that one there. And then we just hit OK, and we're all set and ready to go. But let's look at another app. In this case, let's look at Sling. You'll see right here, we can actually remove this app. We can hide it or remove from cloud. So we can do that right there. And then you'll see, let's look at ESPN. You'll see we have the option for this one to uninstall the app. So a couple different options depending, again, on which app you're selecting. You can uninstall it, you can hide it, or you can remove it from cloud. It'll just vary on an app-by-app basis. And then again, don't forget, if you want to rearrange some of this, you can do that right there. So very easy to do that. Let's discuss picture settings. So we're streaming CBS News right now. If we want to change or tweak the picture settings, just press the settings gear icon on your remote control. We have multiple options here. So in this case, let's go down to picture, and you'll see we have different modes. So we could do movie mode. There's movie mode. Here's dynamic. Here's natural, and then a custom mode if we want to do custom. Let's go back. You'll see how they each change the picture colors right here, and you'll see the breakdown of them. So very easy to do. You might want to mix it up depending on the type of content that you're consuming. Moving right along, we're now looking at our first UFO test, which is showing us different FPS values at our 60 hertz refresh rate with our full 720p resolution. So look at how different and drastic this is as we double those FPS values. Typically, when you're seeing something like this, you want that faster refresh rate for fast movement and motion. A lot of times in gaming, especially, the greater the FPS value you can push, it'll be a competitive advantage for you, and it'll just look better as you're playing the game. So 60 hertz is basically bare bones today in regards to any display, whether it's a monitor or a TV. So that's what you can expect with your footage here at 60 FPS at that 60 hertz for that UFO. It's tolerable. That's probably all I'm gonna say there. And now we have our UFO ghosting test right here. Watch as that alien's moving across the display. You'll definitely notice very blurry, not super clear with the movement and motion. And there's a lot of artifacts behind the alien. So it's got your typical, I'd say, like smearing, as well as just additional artifacts further along. So that's what you'll probably see very similar if you're playing games on this TV. We'll get some sample footage here coming up, but right now with the UFO test on the display, you'll see ghosting, and I'd even say some artifacts directly behind the UFO, regardless of whatever one you're looking at as it's moving across the display. Depending on your device, you also may be able to cast it directly to the TV. There's a couple of ways to go about getting to this setting, but just press the settings gear icon. This will be probably the quickest way for you. And there's your display mirroring setting. You'll leave this display on at this setting and look for your TV's name right there on your device. You also may want to download apps on both your phone and your Fire TV. You might have a way to actually share and cast that way too, but that's going to be one way for you Android people, depending on your device and network settings. And you Apple people also have the luxury too. Just go to the settings gear icon, down to display and sounds right here, and you'll see we have our Apple AirPlay and HomeKit settings, where we can tweak everything that we need to set up. Here in our case, we turned AirPlay on, require the code just one time. You get the idea. Since some of you won't believe me, I thought I'd go ahead and connect the iPhone right there so you guys would be able to see that our phone is successfully cast and shared with our Fire TV. So look at that, Apple and Amazon getting along a little bit. Believe it or not, with our Fire TV, you can actually browse the web. This is Amazon Silk. It looks like the internet tile with the smiley face there. You can search for Silk and download it from the store if you don't have it. We can pull it up here. It's going to take a second to load, and it will populate Bing, so you can use that search engine to browse the web. You even have a cursor to navigate all around, to click or change options here. So in our case, let's go ahead, let's select Bing right there. And we're going to want to go ahead and pull up a new web URL. So let's just do The Verge, theverge.com. We'll hit go. And you'll see it's browsing. And sure enough, look at that. We got The Verge right here on our Fire TV. Amazing. Let's load the first article about Tesla. The new upgraded Tesla here. Not going to be the fastest experience, but look at that. Pulls right up. Amazing. Google. Yes, I have to Google Bing. I love that. Or Bing Google. Hey, there's Google. You can even sign in your account if you want. Digital David. Yes, I know. I just Googled myself. But look at this. This is awesome. Bingo. Cool stuff. So Google works. Pulling up YouTube right now. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We're going to test out the built-in speakers on this TV to see how it sounds, playing some music, Chef, specifically the song Dripping with Ice. Let's give it a listen here. We'll adjust our volume accordingly. We'll start at about 50. And again, they're firing and facing downward. Not bad. Better than previous Insignia generations. Little bit of bass. crank it up. All right, we're maxed out. Well, I like it. Are they fantastic? Are they the best of the best? No, this is a budget-friendly TV. If you think that way, I gotta hit you over the head with it. If you have a soundbar, headphones, whatever, yes, you should definitely use those. But if you're ever in a pinch and you need some speakers, compared to a lot of other TV speakers and monitor speakers, this is definitely above board, above the pack there. That isn't saying much, I know, but compared to the bare minimum, it feels like these are overachieving. Now we're gonna talk about input lag. Keep in mind, we have it on standard mode right now, and I'll show you why the game mode will make a pretty substantial difference in your TV's performance. So you'll see right here, 68.5 milliseconds, followed by 60.9, and then you'll see down here 53.8, 53.7. Now we're going to change it to game mode using our picture settings, and we'll see what we get. Settings, again, picture settings, we're in standard. You're going to want to select game. And now look at these results. Our input lag is now only 35.5 or less, 35.1. Then you'll see in the middle here, 28 or less. And now at the very bottom, look at that, 20.4. So substantial difference there. If you are going to play games with this, make sure you have the gaming mode turned on. So how does this TV do with gaming? Let me show you some actual examples. We'll be looking at some Forza 5 footage, as well as Assassin's Creed and Borderlands 3.